Hey there. It's been a while since I posted an update about what's going on with our family. So it's currently May 6th, and it's been since February 4th when my dad, who's living with the late stages of early onset Alzheimer's disease, had a seizure event, a stroke event. We're not sure exactly what it was, that sent him to the hospital. And he went from there. A week in the hospital, a lot of tests, nothing conclusive about what was going on. He went from there to rehabilitation at a skilled nursing facility. And after getting kicked off of that a couple of times and appealing to try to give him more physical rehabilitation, he ended up back in the hospital due to a UTI. He was there for another 15-day course of antibiotics. Since then, he has gone back to the nursing home where he was no longer in rehab, but just there for long-term care. Due to his size and the fact that he's no longer mobile, he was not able to go home after that incident. He had another UTI while at the nursing home, and he received a 10-day course, I think, of antibiotic shots, and he sort of healed from that infection, but his cognitive changes from the seizure, he never really fully regained the baseline cognitive skills and communication skills that he had remaining at that time. And when I saw him on Saturday of last week, he was in as good of a mood as he has been. Still limited communication, but one thing he was known for was eating all of his food at every single meal at the nursing home. And on Sunday, something changed. So it's currently Wednesday, and starting on Sunday, he was no longer eating as enthusiastically, no longer drinking as enthusiastically. When I saw him on Monday, he was chewing his food for a really, really long time without swallowing. And the hospice nurse thought that he might be developing another UTI. So she changed his catheter and started him on a round of oral antibiotics to help ease any infection. And she did find that there was some infection there. So he hasn't really been eating or drinking since then, and we know that this is likely going to be the thing that he's not going to be able to recover from. He's just gone through these 2 rounds of major antibiotics, and while he's gotten a few additional weeks from each of those incidents, he's really in a very low way at this time. It's really crazy to see the very, very end of Alzheimer's disease. This is not something that I have seen before. I've had other family members who have had dementia, but have passed due to other illnesses before it got anything like this. And I don't know if their dementia was caused by Alzheimer's. They were older, So this is just really, really tough to watch. He's no longer blinking, and if we give him water or food, he holds it in his mouth for a long time and has to be reminded to swallow, please swallow, that kind of thing. But right now it's a Wednesday afternoon, and I'm scheduled to see him on Friday. The boys will be out of school soon, and we were thinking about traveling that first week of summer, but now, not knowing what's going on, everything's just kind of on pause while we watch and see what happens next. Even though we've known, of course, that Alzheimer's is a progressive disease, and that this is what would eventually happen, it's still hard, and it's especially hard right now because up until February, he lived at home full time with my mom, and her world was really changed when he had to go to the hospital and never returned to the house. That was it. that one morning he left the house, and that was it. And then he moved to the nursing home, and we didn't quite know what that would mean for him. We didn't know if he would live for 2 years in the nursing home, or if he would be there for a matter of weeks. Like, we had no idea what to expect. But my mom brought a wheelchair, a walker. She brought his walking shoes. We brought his memory book, his baseball cap, his glasses. And it's been, let's see, February to March, March to April, April to May. It's been 3 months total, although he hasn't necessarily spent 3 months at the nursing home because of the hospital stint. So maybe he spent about 2 months total at the nursing home. And most of those items went unused because the progression since February has just been so rapid. So it's really heavy. My heart is really heavy. Oh, and I got distracted from what I was going to say. So one of the hard parts about this is that my mom's support system has long been just incredibly strong. Other women that she knows, whom she's helped over the years through their own struggles, other women older than her who have lost their husbands and would be able to understand what it was like. One thing I always thought is that my mom has her social support system locked down. And sadly, in the recent months, one of her friends has also come down with a great deal of cognitive decline. And another one is very sick and in the hospital. A few years ago, a third of them passed away. And so I feel like it is my mom's time of need, and all of those close, decades-long friendships that she's built that would normally be supporting her right now are unavailable. And all this while my husband works with his own mom on some of the things she's going through. We've got a neurologist appointment for her in June. And our oldest starts high school in the fall. It just feels really heavy. A lot of different people depending on us. A lot of questions about what's right, what's the best thing for each person, and what we would want. Even something as simple as giving my dad a sip of water after he said he doesn't want water feels like just a major ethical moment to try or not to try. Lots on my mind, and I know so many have been through this before. It's particularly heavy for me given my own genetic status as somebody who carries a genetic mutation that will cause early onset Alzheimer's disease unless the clinical trial that I'm in prevents it. So watching someone's life end due to Alzheimer's disease is extra heavy. And I think it's even heavy for my sons to know that their grandpa is currently dying of Alzheimer's disease, and that it's a family illness. So think of us if you can. Send me your words of wisdom, and I send big love out to all of you who have traveled this road in the past or are currently traveling it. It's heavy. All right, bye-bye.